And there are other areas of concern. Boulder County, for example, last night they were anticipating a wall of water down Boulder Canyon.
Yep.
And we've had Mark Stewart, who has been in the Boulder area for the last couple of days, and he's back live out there again by the library. And Mark, back to your post near Boulder Creek, which is still running high.
And the waters have subsided a bit, but the word from the Boulder Police Department is that the danger is not over at all. Take a look. You can see there's still a bench that is pretty much covered by the water, which is normally a creek, but right now it looks like a raging river. Even though it's moving at a rate slower than it was last night, it is still moving at a clip more than 100 times its usual speed. And if, in the event, we get more rain, as is a very good possibility tonight, Boulder County officials fear we could see a threat as we saw last night, and perhaps even more damage because of this rushing water. Right now, across Boulder, many streets are closed, are unpassable, but emergency responders simply cannot get there to close them. So they are urging all people to stay at home if at all possible. They want to make sure that emergency responders, if they need to get through, have the right of way. Last night we were talking a lot about the water quality, and Brian, if we can once again show you what the creek looks like, which still looks like a river. The water is very dirty, and at a briefing about 90 minutes ago, Boulder County officials wanted to emphasize they now believe that sewage could be in this mix, and for that reason it is a public health threat. We have seen people trying to cross the creek, trying to cross the streets as this water rushes by, and it is very dangerous. Not only can it sweep you up very quickly because it has the consistency of cement, but it can also make you sick. There's a lot of bacteria, a lot of unknowns in this water. So for that reason, people need to stay away from it. It's very curious here. People definitely are curious about this because this is kind of an unprecedented event, but it's still very dangerous. And for that reason, Mike and Ann, people need to stay away from this water and, again, any other flows of water that are going through so many neighborhoods still here in Boulder County.
Mark, give us some information here. Give us some impressions, I should say, of what you've seen. You were there all day yesterday. You were there late last night and early this morning. As you came back into Boulder today, what were your impressions of the town and the ability to get around?
I think what was most telling this afternoon when we arrived is the fact that once daylight arrives, you can see the extent of the damage. Many streets, many roads are just covered in branches, tree trunks, lots of debris, a lot of large rocks, and it's because of flows like this just moving everything that basically comes into its path. And, last night when we were driving back, I have to say there are a lot of areas where there's covered water, and we just decided not to go through it because we just couldn't judge the depth of it. So what was dicey yesterday has now left this mess behind. And as you can see again, the water here is still raging. It's still tremendously higher than it is in the past. And again, if we get more rain tonight, we have a very big potential for more danger. So don't let this lower level perhaps be deceiving. Boulder County officials are very concerned about what the night may bring.
Absolutely.
Again, they are not in the recovery phase. They are, again, using the term, they are still in the life-saving phase of all of this.
Well, and two things I wanted to add to that. You were talking about the water quality there. I'm also seeing that from the Boulder Office of Emergency Management, the water in Lyons, Left-Hand District, and Jamestown water systems, those are compromised as well. So those are important notes for all the folks in Boulder County. One piece of good news that I'm seeing from CU Boulder Police is that the family housing evacuations have been lifted and that residents can return there by 6 p.m. But they are, of course, telling people to stay away from the creek. So that must mean that the family housing on the CU Boulder campus must not be as damaged as they had as anticipated.